Okay, my friends, so here I have some rules, guidelines, but also ideas for this transition time, the 28 weeks, 1 or 2 first years for protein, what to purchase, what to store, what to keep, things you can keep for a long, long time. Okay, so many ideas for this main book, the first 20 years of our organization, with all the exceptions and things that will be accepted for us to use and keep and purchase now what you can, right? Because in the future you can share with those that need the most. So don't share right now. I think that's the best idea. Hi, my friends. Good morning. How are you doing, everybody? Doing great? All right. I'm going to show you how we are going to wash our vegetables from supermarket or from your own garden. This is very important. So I already told you about a small spray. You see this one? About 25 centimeters tall or so. Simple. This is from a dollar store, but this is strong. When you're going to purchase, make sure it's transparent, or almost transparent. Transparent, I mean, like if it's a little green, a little blue, it's okay, but you have to be able to see the liquid, how much liquid's in there. And then you put the vinegar. So depending on the area you are, because some people already have everything clean and organized, some cities are quite clean and some are not. So you put plain vinegar. So this is the one I purchased, you see, the vinegar here. And then, because some places in some countries don't even have proper toilets. They share toilets with neighbors, their toilets outside. So, okay. And if you are in a place that you have proper toilets, your children don't have any problem, no one is sick, and then you can do a half. You dilute a half. Otherwise, you use plain. Okay, so here I already wash everything, okay, really well with this brush, soap. All right, because it's important to be clean. You clean the back there. That is, it's not dirt. That's the silicone, old silicone, because the people here don't care. So they replace this board here with on the top of old bad silicone. So it's not me, okay? Just for you to have an idea. All right. So you wait 10 minutes, okay? And then you're gonna gather all your fruits. You put on a side your veggies, your fruits, everything you got. Not leaves. Leaves is a little bit different. But for all the veggies you got, that's how you're gonna do it, okay? All right. And then you can spray your counter as well. You can even do it before you harvest. So all the counters are properly done, So you can spray all around, okay, before you go to supermarket or before you do your harvest. Okay, so here it is. I put that because here in the United States we have this type of blender there, you see? So it's a big hole, so nothing would fall, okay? So that's why, just for you to don't think I'm weird, okay? All right. Okay, are you ready? All right. So you already clean everything before you go to supermarket or before you have your own harvest. All the counters clean and your sink is clean as well. Okay, so now you can go ahead, you're gonna rinse the main dirt outside, right? From your harvest, you're gonna take the main dirt outside, not here. You already bring them clean, okay? Because the water from outside already goes to irrigation, right? Or to one of the ponds, whichever you're gonna have at your community. But this water, we don't want dirt in here, okay? Because that's the water we're gonna check. Once a month, we're gonna check and make sure, clean the filter, make sure there's no hair and things like that. Okay, so you come here and we spray. You can remove because they're gonna eventually, the vinegar eventually go around and onto the bottom, that's for sure. You just want to make sure all the sides, and in case it's any big one, okay? But that's for sure they're gonna drip. Be careful dripping from red vegetables, you know, when you put vinegar, because they will leach. All right, so this one is ready. You put here on the side, as you see, okay? All right, that's my little cutting board. You know, I have to make sure it's always in a good position, so it will dry well and won't get stained. Okay, so then you are going, I'm just showing you because I did that yesterday. So if you have, whichever you have, you spray them all around, spray really well. As I said, if you have something really big, you flip them over a little bit, you know, to make sure all the sides are properly done, you know, because eventually on the bottom, what will be? On the bottom will be also the vinegar, because some drops will go down. But in case of the, for example, here the beet's not the same. So you flip all the bags, you flip them over, and what you do? Spray them again. All right, so here's my oats. What you do? Spray them too, okay? So spray your oats. And then your salt. The salt you have to be careful, of course, with the entrance. But if it's closed, you spray them all around. You know, some places vinegar might be expensive, some places are cheaper. But you have to disinfect your things, because you don't know people that handle those things from the companies until your own area, okay? So while you purchase things, make sure, right? Instead of washing soap and water, already disinfect them all, okay? So this is my tahini. You disinfect as well. Some of them is not from today, but I'm just showing you, okay? So if you have olive oil, you know, this olive oil bottle actually is very unsustainable. They don't sell another one here. The ones you're going to have for 28 weeks to be shipped to all countries is the can. People make a tiny hole with a tiny nail, and they can use, you know, over the months, because it's important for us to have 1 spoon, you know, about 1 spoon a day, a little bit each meal. It's very important until we have our own items for omega, for protein, for everything. So during 28 weeks, every family gonna have. Like bleach. Bleach is very important. Every family can have. You know, I think a good 5 or 10 gallons to be used over the years, because they don't get bad. If they're shipped in very strong containers, they last forever. So vinegar, bleach, all these things, because right now people are going to be moving all over the world, right? And some people, as I said, they don't have any hygiene. They have worms, they have lice, they have viruses, they're sick, you know, from different reasons. Okay. So your bags, as soon as they dry out, you can put them in a cabinet, so they're fine. You know, usually I put here on a counter, you know, it's gonna dry out. Okay? So you pick them up and put them somewhere and to air dry. If you have a fan, you can already put the fan. If you don't have a fan, you just let air dry. Okay? All right. So if you purchase something, in my case, I purchased celery here. Okay, so what you're gonna do? You're gonna spray the bag. All right, that's one way. And then you're gonna take them out and spray the thing as well. Okay, so everything is sprayed, put on the side to dry. Okay, so that's how I do it. And you put on the side to dry. Okay, all right. Okay, we're doing great. So now I'm going to show you, we have here the celery and the moringa. Moringa I harvested 2 days ago from our own tree. Here, the property. Okay, I'm going to show you that. Just a minute, please. Let's get organized. Okay, so...
Mom, I need to end the video.
Alright, so here you have the celery. So your concern is not the center of the celery, it's the outside part. because someone, in a farm where you purchase might not have clean hands. So it's very important. Put like that, wait 10 minutes. Okay? All right? So you can do that. All right, that's done for the celery. When I rinse, so in a few minutes I'm going to come here, I'm going to rinse, and I'm going to put them like that, against the wall or something, like that. So they will drain and won't keep moist in the center because the center is clean. Our main concern is the sides where people put their hands to cut, hands to bag them, because we don't know how is, different countries might have different inspection, regulations, okay? All right. So you spray them all, even the soap. You purchase the soap. All right. So you spray the soap, okay? So if you got turmeric, here's my turmeric. I eat every day, You spray them, okay? All right. So just let it be. All right. So the other way is to put everything in a big bowl. I don't have a big bowl, so you can do that too, okay? Do it in a big bowl. Now, I'm going to show you now about moringa, how you can do some salad greens, okay? Because that will be easy. Soon we're going to have our own. So that's a little different. Don't need too much vinegar and all these things because you're going to plant your own and going to harvest your own. All right, my phone doesn't turn off, so let me do the best I can. So the first thing you need, it is, that's how I do mine, okay? Because mine has some pollution, all right? Oh, sorry, you can put here. Yeah, there are different ways. I'm just giving you some ideas. All right, so you come here, wash them well, okay? The amount you're gonna use. That day or so, 1 or 2 days, not too long because we don't want them to be melting to each other, right? But usually they have very strong leaves and easy to eat. You can eat them anyway. If you have more, you can even cook them. Just a few minutes, right? To be different. It's like kale, spinach, everything else. If you're having too much, but make sure you always have the fresh ones in your salad. But if you have too much, that's fine, okay? All right, so you come here and you're gonna drain the water, all right? Drain the water so you rub really well. You harvest with your own hands. Your hands are clean, okay? So you clean your hands before you harvest them. Moringa, when you slide the leaves, you need to have clean nails. So clean your hands. You make sure you wash your nails before you go do your harvest. Okay? All right, here it is. All right? Okay. Let it sit a little bit. It's clean, so I don't put vinegar. Because all of us are going to have leaves very soon. Very soon. Okay? So the other thing is that when you put all your veggies here and waiting for those 10 minutes, you don't want to turn the tap on because then the vinegar is going to go away. Take the vinegar out. So be careful. You do everything you need before you do those things. All right? So we're waiting a bit more because not 10 minutes yet. All right? So this is very important. Okay? Okay, so here I already drained the moringa, right? When you slide them, moringa is amazing because what happens is just the very thin ones, you see, that stays. The larger ones, I don't have here to show anymore, but you slide through the thicker parts of that leaves, stay at the branch and you just get the little ones. All right. So you always wash for a day or so, okay? So this is clean and it's ready to be used, for a salad, anything, okay? So you always do like that. When you have a lot of it, you can cook. The same as for jellies, if you have a lot of fruits. If you have a little bit, you share and eat raw. Okay, so now you're gonna rinse everything, you see? Rinse, okay? Why? Because we don't want to leave the vinegar there. So you keep for about 10 minutes to make sure, all right? So you rinse them well. Okay, let it drain, and then you put them to dry, and not in a clear surface, because like beets will stain, radish will stain, okay? All right, so when you have your production of coffee, the same way, you're gonna grind them, right? You make the harvest at your own community, you're gonna grind, everyone gonna have containers like that, with a proper lid that's very strong, and you have to wash them sometimes all around with soap and water. You don't need vinegar because we don't want to keep, you see these little borders here of the lid? You don't want to keep vinegar in there because with time they're gonna get rusted. So we're going to make very, very strong lids to be used over and over, such as plastic lids that they will last longer. Okay? All right. So while you have things, while we don't have our own, you just want to make sure you do the same way. You rinse, you spray all around, wait 10 minutes, then you rinse. You can dry and put them away. All right. So now I'm going to try to show you how I do how I rinse the celery, even that I just have one hand because I'm holding the self on the other hand. So you take the vinegar out, that's important. Rinse, any extra dirt that might have, okay? All right? But don't let go water all the way in the center. Let me get the other one. All right, so you rinse, okay? Rub a little bit, make sure the vinegar is all taken out, any dirt left over. All right, rub, all done. Okay. So now you're gonna put them to air dry like this. That's how I do it, okay? So why? Because it's gonna drain any water that might be between. The best is possible because you're gonna use that along the days, right? When you have your own, you just purchase, you just harvest one at a time, of course. But when you're using those from supermarket, you want to wash them well and do this way, okay? All right. If you don't have a very large family yet, so you keep one in a plastic bag because they will last longer. That's okay. And just put vinegar on the one you're gonna use first, okay? And you look them around, see which one is healthier, and keep in a plastic bag the healthier one. All right, the best one. Then you can clean afterwards, and you just clean the bag as I showed you a little earlier. All right, okay, my friends, so here it is. Look, the radish with the vinegar will lose a little color, but that's fine because just 10 minutes. The main thing is that you're sure that you disinfect them all and they're ready to eat. So this is the other thing. If you have any container like that, you can use along the time because we're going to have a lot, right, of our own afterwards. We're going to grind our own, but until we have, so make sure you don't keep vinegar there too much. You can even wash with soap and water because that's a glass will do well, okay? All right, because we don't want that part to get bad, to get rusted, all right? Okay, so here's a few tips. Now I'm going to show you something I just did a little earlier. It's so here you're gonna boil your little towel from the kitchen every day for these first 2 years, every day, because we are going to have people from different places in our community. It's gonna be a lot of exchange of germs and virus all over, so we have to be healthy, my friends. So at the end of the day, you finished your dinner. Okay, this is a mini towel. It's the one about 20 by 20. All right, so gonna be white for now. So you wash and then you boil because that's better than bleach because you want to save the bleach for future years, as I said. So you come here, you boil at the end of the day. You boil for 5 minutes. and press. Press to make sure the top always disinfect really well. All right, so I boil a little early. I'm just showing you now. Okay, boil 5 minutes. So when you put on the fire on, you have to make sure, when you set up your alarm, I put always 10 minutes just for you to check make sure the water is boiling and you don't forget if you're gonna do something. All right, so you come here, you can put 5 minutes, depends how hot you put on, right? Of course. Okay, so and then you boil for these minutes, and then you come here and then you're gonna rinse, but it's burning hot. So how you do it? I do like that. There's many ways. You can use a fork or you can use a wooden spoon. So you put some water on the top, okay, because that's the place you're gonna grab. All right, I already disinfect the sink. That's very important, okay. If it's your last towel, it's all right. So you hang there, and then you're gonna pour the hot water. That's okay, all right, but doesn't help if you're gonna rinse and then touch the dirty sink. Doesn't help. So you have to make sure it's clean, or with vinegar or with boiling water. All right, so you rinse them well, really well, and then you squeeze, of course, and hang dry. All right, air dry. Okay, so make sure when you're doing your sets, what you do, always wash your nails really well and disinfect all the counters around. All right, so those are the tips for today, and I talk to you soon. Okay, so whichever you will be having at your community, we give value to these things as the preschools, the schools, right? Until the end of 4th grade, they can have those things. You can bring a little bit, as soon as not too much, you can bring a little bit to the house. Why? Because it's better for them to play natural things than have all these things that kids have nowadays, video games and all this stuff, right? So they can create. How they can create? They can create paths with it, right? It's like the big seeds that you have in your community. You can create, you can make drawings. They can do anything they want. And you as a parent, in rainy days, you can also create something with them, right? So you can make a house, right? You can play as like, let's see, you make one shape, I make the other. So use what you have, So here, for example, I made a little house, okay? All right? So you can use walnuts, the shell of walnuts. You can use big seeds, For little kids, only big seeds, preschool kids, right? Big things, so they don't put in their mouth. Older they get, if they don't have siblings, of course, little siblings crawling around the house, they can have smaller ones. So you can make a shape, you can make another shape and let it go, okay? Because you clean up. You can have that wooden board, right? Everyone gonna have that wooden board. You can create things. And then, if it's something really beautiful, like constructions with wooden block, if you don't have for rainy days and winter days, that's fine. You build and you can stay. You can live there for 2-3 days. That's fine. Okay, so if little fuzz come like that, it's okay. You take them out, sweep the floor, clean the board, right? The wooden board. For little constructions like that. If you want to bring somewhere, such as your porch, right? You can do that if the floor is not smooth like tile, that's okay. All right, so you can make your constructions and do it great. All right, the other thing is that we are going to have very strong pots, that they are stainless, not stainless steel, sorry, they are non-stick materials. They will last for years and years and years. We have different types. We're gonna tell you which ones are the best ones, but of course you cannot touch with a fork, with a stainless steel silverware, right? Only you can only use bamboo, right? Bamboo or wood, okay? So this is very important. So we are going to tell every family gonna have a set, because right now our family is gonna be big. So we need big pots, right? We need big pots, you know. Also to make our eggs, we need big pans, right? Because all our family is gonna be really big. Because remember, we have what? We have billions of animals that need to born as humans. So we need big pots, big families, the best we can. You know, the countries, of course, that are not overpopulated yet. All right. The other thing, we need containers that are very thick and strong. Nothing will be disposable or just used for a little time. They are unbreakable plastics, like the bowls that we have, like this bowl. Unbreakable. Will last forever. Okay? All right? So this is very important. For the draining rack, that's not mine, sorry, it's my roommate. The sponge you just saw. Because I use a cotton little fabric for a long time, don't even know how many years. But so for those, once we already have them, you're gonna use. But as soon as they start to get rusted, the bad ones, we are going to teach our own middle school, high school kids how to make that wooden one, right? Just for the water to drain, right? So they can, family's gonna have like that, 2 sinks, and so in one of the sides, they can put that rack just to help to drain. Because at the end of the day, or every morning, early in the morning, all the dishes need to be put away. Okay? It's easy, simple, and get it done. Because before we go to work, before we go to schools, right? Okay, so that's very important. And these I already said, so here my beets are dry in a stainless steel sink, as you see there, you know. And the reddish here, because we don't want to stain the counters. That's very important, because remember, we don't want to use bleach. When we get stain, we are going to use our lemon the best we can. We're going to use our lemon. The bleach, it's only for white, special clothes, a little drop here and there, only when very needed, okay? All right, my friends, we're doing great, and I talk to you soon. So for everything that you already have good containers, for example, here I have for chocolate, and here I have for coffee, right? So when you're going to have your own harvest from your own, your own harvest from your own gardens, what you do, use the containers, the very strong containers, you already have them, and share accordingly. So every family that wants, because it's important for everyone to eat different things, get used to eat different things. So like in places that grow chocolate, grow coffee, it's important for people to eat them, even a little bit, so they won't get rejected. You know, like, oh, I don't like this, I don't eat that, I don't eat this. No. So it's important. This one is not organic, but rarely I do that. That's non-GMO, but keep your containers, okay? Because in the future, we're going to have, I think glasses are the best. They're very strong. And with time, we're going to get to all families the same, because people are going to be happy, nobody going to be dangerous to break a glass and use for bad reasons, okay? So they're going to last forever with plastic lids like this one here for the coconut, you see? And every county going to have 4 different oils that's sustainable for the area, made by nuts, made by seeds, whichever they are. I think 4. And 4 extra ones. Why these 4 extra ones? Because we need a total of 8 just to be sustained for millenniums. But we can choose every year, you know, like they can choose, because some trees might take a while to start growing. But I think that's the most sustainable. We will produce 4 and be exchanged, but plant 8. Understand? I think that's reasonable. And then we are going to learn how to extract in the best way. This one is unrefined and virgin. You see? it's very thick. It's different than other oils that's very thin and, you know, made with very high heat that they become saturated fat. You know, all these are very good. Okay, in the same way as the peanut butter, you know, the peanut butter, you can also, if you're gonna plant them, because for example, here in Florida, we can plant a lot of them as ground cover during summer. Very easy to grow, even that I pay more than $6 for this pot. So I put here some chocolate mix because, as I said, we have to get used to different things instead of having ready things. So you mix, you know, that's how I do it. This has no sugar, okay? We are going to plant cane sugar, but remember, all juices, you can only have 2 months. We're still strong with that. That's good, that's reasonable, and every family gonna choose what you have the most, you know? And you can use the strainer to make your own juice. On the case of the cane sugar, you're gonna use the manual machine, right? Because that juice is very rich in iron and many different things. Even that has a lot of sugar, but we're going to be running every day. Kids gonna be outside playing every day. We are going to be exercising every day. Everyone's gonna be healthy and strong. Okay, my friends, those are the tips for now, and I talk to you soon. Sorry, Okay, my friends, so now I have a few words on how we can be sustainable during these 28 weeks that we're going to be having shipping from other countries that's available for now, right? For just once, the ships, and after that by airplane, okay? All right, so here let me give you an example. I went to purchase a tomato, one tomato, big regular tomato, like Roman tomato. It was, I think, $2.40, $2.40. I think that's how much I paid. So a jar of tomato sauce, because we need lycopene, is very important for us. And until your gardens are growing, you can purchase them. If they have a little sugar, you know, in the mid or so, not in the beginning, but if they have a sugar, cane sugar, in the mid or at the end, it's okay, it's better than you don't have lycopene at all. I'm very sorry, but you know, until you have those 4-6 weeks growing, and in 2 months or so, you can have some tomatoes. Now, this is unsustainable because what happens is when we take out this part does not take out of the glass. The glass needs to be broken. So what we're going to have, all our glass is going to be jars. And now that they can be exported, so you can use the ones that are available for sale now. And we're going to contact the companies to sell everything aluminum, because aluminum, they can easily open the top, rinse with soap and water. Instead of this, break them apart. Aluminum will be good for any country. We're going to need aluminum in the future, right? Can be easily recyclable. And they can last for many years. So every family will have 10, 20, you know, and use wisely until their own oil is produced. It's going to take a while, right? Nuts trees and trees like that. Seeds will be easier, like sunflower seeds going to be much easier. But so every family going to have cans. We're going to contact those companies, going to have regular aluminum cans. Unless they're ready made, because aluminum will be much easier than this, as I said, you know, because the top cannot be taken out. Such as perfume, all those tops that has a container, avoid purchase, you know. Try to purchase the ones that we are going to have as soon as the companies make agreement with us, okay? Like, for example, this is a vinegar, right? We take the lid off, sorry. It gets this little ring here, but that's okay. You can cut, easily you can cut that. You know, you slide the knife here a few times, you can cut. But not this very thick one. You cannot do that, all right? So, other sustainable things. For oats, depend the country, or lentils or beans, even that they're not organic, purchase the one you have because you need some, right? We need protein, my friends. And you have to figure out the best option you have. What is available at your county? Peanut butter, lentils, chicken, eggs. What do you have? Chia, nuts of different types. What do you have at your county? Go online, search it up, because we are going to have a very active life, right? We're gonna need good neurons. We're gonna need a good body. We need to renew ourselves. So we need nuts, we need nuts. We need things for us. So for now, if you can afford, purchase an organic coffee. But coffee does not need for people to smell and this and that. No. Purchase the cheapest one. It's organic. Or if you already have from your own country, of course. Right? Because that's the most reasonable. Okay? People are so worried about fair trade. What about us? Some people have $1 a day on a fair trade. That's not fair. Where's the fair about fair trade? Company owners still becoming millionaires, billionaires, and the farmers still get $1 a day, $2 a day. So just do the best you can. I'm just giving you some ideas on how to think wisely according to what you have at your own county. For example, here in Florida, coconut is very cheap. This coconut company, it's very cheap and it's organic. Chia seeds also here, it's organic and very cheap, and that makes a lot of it. You just put a little 1 or 2 spoons in a jar, some water, you mix, and a few minutes, 5 minutes or so, they're ready. You can use them for everything. You can use them with oats. Look, it's a creamy, Children can get used to it. You can mix them in the morning and you keep talking. I'm going to make you strong. I'm going to make you smart. And it's true, Chia, flaxseed, all these nuts, they have omega. They have, search online, okay? So you can eat this with everything. It's a good mixture also for salad. You put a little olive oil. You put a little lemon, and you're good to go. You have a good mixture for your moringa or whichever you already have in your city. Okay, so now I'm going to show you. So you get a clean towel and you're gonna dry your celery. So that's another towel. So you wipe them, try your best. And I don't put them inside the bag I purchased, that thin bag usually they sell. No, I already use the thicker bags, because I have here my county, the oats I purchased, So you can use a thicker bag that is washable, you can use over and over. That's a very good one. So you dry them well. I just have one hand, but I just show you a little bit. Dry them really well. And which ones you're going to take? Every day you're going to make your salad. So one day you take this one. The other day you're going to take 2 from this one, So you use the ones that are getting older first, right? And keep the center. So I let it drain for an hour or so as I show you, standing up, right, in that position. And you also want to cut off this little part, because if it's any germs or things, right, some like for ginger, cut them off, all right? So the garlic, I just put vinegar one at a time when I use them. And the ginger as well, because they start grow. Look how beautiful. You can sprinkle some water like that, pling, 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 a little bit, and you can plant them, because here the only one we have available comes in big boxes of $7, right? Many of them, $7. It's actually very good price compared with any other things you buy because they last forever. You can make tea, you can use them raw at your salads. Okay, so this is very important. All right, and as I said, the garlic, don't let it mildew because you know have many layers. It's hard to dry well. Just put vinegar one at a time and never dip in water because you can even dip, you know, if you have a big salad bowl or something. All right? Okay, my friends, here's some more tips and I talk to you soon. Okay, so you see over here, I already took the bad part because we don't want to get any chances. So the bag you're gonna put, the thick bag you have, it's really clean. The same as the ginger, when you get them from supermarket or from your own, because we're gonna harvest a lot of it, right? You need to harvest really many kilos to share with the families. You take that bad part out as soon as possible when you start using, okay? Because it's very important for us to eat healthy things, okay? So you can use vinegar. Okay, if you didn't harvest with your own hands, you use vinegar. Even that's from your own community, because some places we're going to plant things that are not right there. Some communities don't have much space. So you're going to be taking care Saturdays morning, but you have to walk a little bit to get to this big land, like yuccas and things. You're going to have teams to maintain those planting areas, but they don't need so much care often like veggies. We need to be checking them often for bad pests, for watering, right? Because some, they grow by themselves, like yucca, they're very strong. And with time, we are going to exchange protein from far away, such as beans, right? Beans that are very healthy. To lentils, we can grow ourselves, to moringa and other dark greens, right, that have protein, okay? All right, and also, of course, seeds, nuts. All right, so you always take the bad part before you put in a bag, and those things go to your little compost, okay? All right, my friends, so we're doing really great. Let's get organized, and please subscribe right now and make a donation because we need money so we can also pay our bills, right? We, the headquarters, still need a house here in Florida because we cannot pay rent anymore, right? To be really healthy and sustainable, okay? And please make a donation. You can register for an English class. You can register for the 2-year class that we're gonna have. Anything, choose one, register, right, and share videos. I really appreciate, and I talk to you soon. Okay, so now we are going to talk about this pen. All right, this pen has a problem. You know, the handle is too strong, so we are going to have every pen will have pins that cannot take out and cannot unscrew, cannot get loosened, like this one here. So we are going to make an agreement with those companies to have the best and most sustainable. So if you see over here, you see it's a pin there. You know, I got this pen used. I didn't have even time to clean the bottom. It came like that. But anyways, so the other thing is that we're going to see what type, because this one is white, but you see it's a stain here. Don't know what happened, the previous owners there. But for every pen we'll have, gonna be unstick and use a bamboo or wooden spoons only. For people that have plastic, they can use for now, that's fine. You know, spatulas or spoons they can use until they are properly replaced. Because we don't want to cook in aluminum pan, and we don't want to use plastic, so we're not making new ones, but the ones you already have, it's all right. So that's very important. So you see here, these screws, you know, These one are very good actually, because look, they cannot loosen up. They are there forever. So this company is good with the screws. Okay, you see here, they cannot untight. Like this company, it's not good because look, it can take apart. You see, with time, gonna get loose. This pen we have for many years. It never happened any problem, never got loose, but some are crazy. You tie them up and then they lose. The other thing, it is we are going to have, you see this pen here? It's also very good because cannot be unscrew. You see, I don't know if they press, if the screw is on the top and they press afterwards, probably that's the way they did. You know, they screw really good and then they press this. But we never had, look, very firm for years. We have these spots, I don't know, maybe 20 years or so. Never had a problem with it. So that's the type of pens we are going to have. Very, very strong and sustainable, okay? All right, so now I'm going to say a few words about our knives. Our knives, I think the best for our knives are these ones. You know, it's a type of stainless steel, all right? They're very, very strong. I cut my veg for maybe a year now. I cut my veggies with this all the time. It's very strong. So because we're not going to have a half wood and a half metal, because that's not needed. You know, the best for us to have one. I already said how we are going to sharpen them up twice a year. No more is needed. And they're going to have a hole here. You know, have a hole. They're going to be firm and strong, not too thin like that, a little thicker, because that will be bad on our hands, because, you know, so we won't have, little, not blisters, but little calluses forming when we cut too much, okay? So that's for house, that's what we are going to use, okay? And the knife and the scissors gonna be attached to the wall, unremoved, because we don't need, some people have 10 knives, 20 knives, one for this, one for that, one for, I cut everything, I use one knife. For a year now, August, yeah, a year, about a year I have this knife. I think so, about a year more or less. Okay? So this is sustainable, so we have to start thinking. And if anything of any area you found something that's more positive, more sustainable, for your own state or for all countries, please let us know, all right? If it's for your own country, your own county, you're gonna tell your local university, the headquarters assistant teams. If it's something to be considered for everyone of all countries, then you're gonna tell your international or your national university, right? They will be the one that will have that information, okay? All right, my friends. So now once we are here in the kitchen, let me just tell you one more tip. Here we have tahini. Tahini, it's made of sesame seeds until we have our own growing. Please purchase. You have them available, purchase. I have here, lucky enough, in Brazil we don't. It's so hard to find it. But we need calcium, my friends. So you're gonna eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of other things that have calcium as well, but it's very important. Sun and a variety of food. We cannot lack food. So right now, if you have available, purchase so you can have for 1 whole year, 2 whole years, until your own is growing, right? Because that's important. And for flaxseed, whichever you're gonna be planting, because right now is the time we can buy things from other countries. So if you already have money, purchase some for you, donate some for somebody. Always try to share. If you buy 5, give 5 to somebody, or just keep them 10. Keep 10 right now, because family's going to be moving a lot, and in the future see who is really in need of that calcium. Okay? All right, so with everything, purchase and keep. Nuts you cannot keep for too long, but grains, lentils, beans, yes, you can keep them for a few years. Go ahead and purchase them. You know, all right? Be safe, be strong, and until our own harvest will be grown. All right, my friends, thank you, and I talk to you soon. Okay, my friends, gonna show you. You wash something at your house, right? So you squeeze well. All right, so now I'm going to show the two ways of shaking it. If you're just gonna do a half shake, we're gonna call half shake this. This is a half shake, a little bit. Okay, half shake. You can do anywhere in your house because it won't get drips around the walls. All right, this is called a half shake. Now the whole shake, it's like that. You hold one side, and you shake it like that completely. That's a complete shake. You can only do in a bathtub, okay? Or your shower. You see? It's different than the other one. You're shaking completely to get the drops out and dry as soon as possible. So the complete shake, I'm doing here just to show you because our walls need painting anyways. You see? Okay, my friends, so here it is, so you have an idea, and that's the two terms we're going to use, all right? Thank you so much, and I talk to you soon. See? Okay, my friends, so here we had a few updates and some tips, ideas, all right? So let's add everything. So I think the best would be for us to have this 28 weeks book up to the first 2 decades, everything for these first 20 years. Because the permanent version, we don't want to have all these details that are going to be changing over and over, right? Because not needed for future generations to be studying that. So let's have, because some things up 1 year, some is 2, some is 4, some is 10 years, some is 20, right? So I think that will be the best. The first 20 years, extra, exceptions for rules and guidelines, and the permanent version that we're going to have all over from the first day on. Okay, so those are the new updates from August 7th, 2022. I really appreciate your attention, and I talk to you soon. Okay, so thank you so much for your attention, helping us to write all these handbooks that we need, and I talk to you soon. Here are the updates. Thank you everyone, and you have a happy and blessed day.